Hi, this is Jennifer Cambridge. I'm here with my last layout for Boys of Summer Kit. It's number 9. These are the leftover pictures I had from my son and his friend. They're jumping on the trampoline. So what they were trying to do was chest bump, but these are sort of the outtakes. They messed up. I take my Tim Holtz clock, I think it's called Clockwork. Yeah, Clockwork stencil, and I'm using molding paste, and I'm going to just rub it in certain places. I don't want it to go outside of the clock shape, but I use my palette knife and I just spread, keeping it inside the lines of the circle. And it's really hard to keep it from getting messy, and from the start I should have taped it down, but I learned with later ones to tape it down and it keeps it from moving. And I just wanted it to be a little clock up in the corner. Then I just scrape off all the extra because it was a little uneven. On the second one, I went ahead, taped it down, both to my mat and to the paper, just to, I figured it would make it a little easier, then I didn't have to be as clean when I put it down and it'd go a little faster. So this one, just spread it on, and then smooth it off so it's even, then pull it up and move to the next spot. And there I am working on the third one. And between each one I clean my stencil just to keep any molding paste from sticking to it. If it dries on it, then it's really hard and just hard to clean up. But I wanted each one of these to look different, so there's the almost full clock at the top, and then the half one in the middle, and then this one down in the corner. So using all three of them, it kept it looking different enough. Then I take my heat gun and dry each one of them, and it doesn't take very long, it dries really fast. Then I flip it over and I dry the back side because, well, one thing, there's the warping, but also the wet goes through the paper. Then I pick which photos I want, and I'm really just dealing with scraps here, so this is one of the pieces that I had that was big enough for a photo. And then I cut it off. Just kind of eyeball it. And I don't freehand cut with my scissors very often. Normally I only use my paper cutter because I'm paranoid about straight lines, but this layout I wanted to get it done really fast, and so I was really just sticking it on scraps and cutting it out. And I was really glad to get rid of all of my scraps, or most of them anyway. And then this one goes on airplane paper. I had quite a bit of that left over. Then I realized I had it on there crooked, so I had to fix it before I cut it out all the way. And I kept cutting up each side. Then the next side would look too big, so I'd cut some more. But I finally got it to a place that made me happy, so that's how it stays. This one, I used an extra scrap, but it was close to the same width as the photo, so I decided to hang the photo off of the edge instead of having it be a mat, and I did end up flipping it over so that I wasn't using the same paper. I wanted each photo to have a different colored mat, and then I just had to cut the extra off of the top. And then I did the same thing with this photo because the scrap that I had was skinny. So I just put adhesive along the one side of the photo and stuck it to the paper and trimmed off the top. Then I inked everything with brown ink, and I cannot remember which one, but that's okay. I inked every photo mat. And then I inked the background paper so that it would match the mats. And then I placed the photos approximately where I wanted them to be, and then went through and stuck them each down. I wanted to do sort of the outside edge ones first, just so I could space the ones in the middle a little better. Just spacing them between the outside photos, then my gaps aren't weird, and that wouldn't push the photos on the right off the page. Then the photo on the top, I wasn't sure if I should put it up high or down low. I had to decide where I wanted my gap, and I went ahead and placed it up high so that my gap was in the middle of all the photos. And this is my title piece, and I used foam tape so that it would pop off the page a little bit. And it's just a die cut piece from the Boys of Summer kit. And on that, I put the date, and it was October of 2014. And I basically just put on there the same thing that I told you, that these were outtake photos. I've already scrapbooked a page of them jumping on the trampoline and doing their chest bump, but this one just was of the outtakes. The title I took from the stickers, and it just says All Boy. Then I used some overlays. And then I cut it in half because there wasn't really a place that I wanted to put a full one. And I put adhesive on and tucked them behind a couple of the photo mats, one at the top and one down at the bottom. obviously it takes me a while to decide where to put it. And I end up back where I started. That's normal though. Then I take some stickers with various things on them. These right here are alphabet stickers, and I put Cruise Engage. And they weren't sticking very well. I had to really press them on. Then these are all from the ephemera pack, and they're arrows, and I just decided to stick them all over the page. I wanted to use them up. So I decided just to point at each photo with an arrow. And that one just pointing back and forth. Then I used some black washi tape and I put it on a couple of different places on this layout. Right here I wanted to be able to ground the title a little bit, give it something to sit on, because it was just floating before. And I thought that it looked okay before, but I liked this better. But because I used black washi there, I knew I needed to use it somewhere else on the layout. So I tucked a little bit underneath the bottom left-hand corner of that, underneath that photo there. And a little bit above it. And then again down on the bottom left-hand side. And then right here below this photo. And that just tied all the photos in. Then I stuck some stickers on. That one says Radical. And then Zoom Zoom. And then Rock On. And that finishes this layout. And I love this kit, but I am so glad it's done. It seemed to drag on forever, but thank you for sticking with me and watching all my videos. Thank you for subscribing and for hitting the like button. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.